Okay.
All right. Good evening, everybody. No intro music
That's
because
right.
apparently,
You're right.
apparently
Okay.
it's not working.
There we go.
You can't hear it, so I stopped using it.
It only took me
Nevada
17
Nick,
tries to tell me. Finally
it
picked up.
only,
Good for you, though,
yeah,
Coach.
yes, it took 17. I finally figured it out. I got it right, so I just, I'm done with it. So that
Coach finally coached up. You're finally.
I got coached up. Yes, I got coached up
man.
finally. Thank you very much. Big day yesterday in football. The Eagles come away with a big win. So we have a lot to talk about. I'm trying to do two things at once and talk. I can't do it apparently, but
you want me to start with the Eagles?
There.
I can.
No, why don't you go ahead? Why don't you go ahead? We'll start with the Eagles,
okay,
and we'll go from there.
Well, I mean, I think the good thing is, Coach. Let's just start it like this. You know what I've been clamoring for them to do. You know what I mean? For weeks and weeks and weeks, run the ball. They're running the ball, and me and you've talked about it. This is when you start finding your identity. By now, what's up, Mama Moon? By now, you should know essentially what your team can do well and what it can't do well. Yeah, you should be able to tell, what your team can and can't do. You know what I mean, Coach? It shouldn't be hard. And the Eagles can run the football really well. They can.
Absolutely.
And let's not lie. On Sunday, 50 carries for 204 yards. Coach, the last 3 games, 626 yards rushing. I mean, that's and look, you're 2-1, and you lost by a field goal to a decent Chargers team. You're not great, but still a good young Chargers team with a good quarterback like Justin Herbert. They played it well. They shortened the game. And what's even better is look how it makes Hurts look now too. He's playing much better. And I'll say this, Coach, I said early on that Hurts, I kind of wasn't sold on him, and he wasn't. Now I'm going to say I haven't changed my mind, but I need to see more now because he's starting to show progression. They're running the ball. They're starting to do well around him. Devontae Smith starting to come into his own. I like what I see with the Eagles. I think they're headed in the right direction. They're young. You could possibly have 3 first-round picks and a lot of, some cap space as well. I like what I see. I mean, look, I understand it's the Broncos and the Lions, but still, they're playing better. They're running the football. Like, when you have a good offensive defensive line, and when you can run the ball and play defense, you can go places in the NFL.
Well, that's at any level. You can run and play defense. It's at any level, but I have to go back and you guys can fact checkers out there can fact check me, but I believe that it was Coach Muddle that said, if the Eagles could run the football, Hurts would be a lot better because you said, he's missing these throws. He's missing.
Oh, no, I said it. No, but of course I knew he would better because it makes all quarterbacks better.
Yes. But now finally, what you see with that running game, how much more dynamic Jalen Hurts can be and what he's more of a weapon in that offense now.
Oh, no, there's no doubt about it. He and like I said, also it's not hurting with Devontae Smith improving, but too the way he can run the ball, it's dynamic. Look, Goddard looked good yesterday. Obviously, he gets hurt, but
right.
They're headed in the right direction. And like I said, if they had better coaching earlier, maybe you beat the 49ers. But it was just they were so poorly coached early on. I like what I see though. They're headed in the right direction. They had the Saints in a home game this week. Going to be tough. Saints are a good team. But then they play the Giants and the Redskins. I don't think they've got to play them 4 times to end the year because they haven't played either of them yet. So
right.
They play the Jets
and
so
the Cowboys 4 times.
Right, and the Cowboys in the last game of the year. Which if the Cowboys have, where they can't improve their seed, that could be a game they sift people. So there's some W's out there, I believe, for the Eagles.
I agree with you. I agree. And, and the game that got me, and by the way, because I know you were dealing with some stuff yesterday, you weren't with us, and Stiz wanted to know who I thought was the top halfway point. Who's the top of the AFC? And I said the Patriots because they look back to form. And man, did they smack Cleveland in the mouth? I mean, Cleveland, again, we say this all the time. Cleveland's good because they didn't have expectations. Now that they have these expectations, they have been sputtering.
Right.
And granted, Baker's hurt, this and that.
Well, and they're missing the 2 running backs and offensive linemen. But you know what? Overcome it. Like, you know what I mean? And you shouldn't
man up.
No excuse to lose 45-7 either, Coach.
Right. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
The Patriots are a good team, but Coach, I wasn't on yesterday. I was going to mention that I thought the winner of that Browns-Patriots game, watch out for as a possible sleeper in the AFC. It's wide open. And I'm telling you, they still play the Bills twice, too. If you're the Bills, you're nervous because no matter what, the Bills won the AFC East last year, but you know who owns the NFC East in the last 2 decades,
right?
And that's in Foxborough in New England,
and that's this game this week. That's coming up this week. It's a huge game. It's Bills.
No, it's the following week. The Patriots play the Falcons on Thursday night.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right, the week after. I'm sorry, I forgot about the Thursday night game. My bad.
Right, but still, it's the week after. But it's going to be a huge game.
It is absolutely. Absolutely.
And you know it too, Coach. I mean, look, first of all, Bill's got that defense just playing lights out. Let's be honest. They are playing lights out.
Well, it was Mike F. and White playing quarterback, and I mean, but it is the Jets.
No, but let's just say this too. Boy, did he well, that he said he should have been the number 1 pick in the draft too. It's like you have one good game, dude.
Right.
Yesterday he has 4 interceptions against Buffalo. But no, look, and especially too, Coach, because obviously the Bills are up a game right now. But if the Patriots can win that first game and tie it up, all the pressure, as crazy as it sounds, all the success the Patriots have had, all the pressure is on the Bills.
Absolutely.
You have the MVP QB. You had all the Super Bowl hype.
Right.
Patriots they got a rookie QB, but Bills got them playing. And the other thing, we got to bring up too, Coach. Mac Jones just gets better and better. They're running the football. Mm-hmm. The Patriots are finding their identity. They're getting those weapons on the outside. Kendrick Bourne, big game yesterday. Aguilar made some big plays. Right. And Mac Jones and Hunter Henry are really starting to find some chemistry. Let's not forget, too, that team was vastly different in the beginning of the year. Much like the Bucs last year, Coach, with Brady.
Right.
And now they're getting some chemistry together and playing. There was a lot of new players on that team this year, and you're starting to see it come together.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That was huge. That was huge. But talk about some poor coaching, just to go back to the Bills game. I mean, the Jets, they could run the football against the Bills, but again, they seemed just like Andy Reid syndrome, where I'm going to throw it just to throw it. I mean, where's your what?
Your poll. I don't know. We want a poll of who's the best team in the AFC.
My poll. No. I have a poll I'm going to put out on Twitter because, and I wanted to ask you, Nick, this. If you're 7-31 as a coach,
mm-hmm.
How's your job? What do you think your job status should be?
You shouldn't have a job status. You should be fired.
Thank you. Well, that's going to be my poll. I'm just taking a poll, and we'll discuss it more on Thursday's show and to where I'm going. But there's I have an issue with a 7-31 team.
Right.
That is
so, Coach. But yeah, to get to what you were saying in the AFC, I mean, I think the Patriots are right there. I do believe it's wide open. But look, you can't count out the Chiefs now. They're showing that. They're getting the defense is playing better. I think Mahomes obviously picking up some confidence. The one team I don't believe in is the number 1 seed. And I know people are gonna say I'm nuts. First of all, they got a game handed to them yesterday. The officiating in that Saints game was terrible. I know it's one call, but it's a huge call. They intercept the ball in the end zone. I mean, let's not forget, it was a 2-point game yesterday. The Saints missed 2 extra points, which you can't blame the Titans for that.
Right.
They got handed 7 points. So they throw an interception in the end zone, Ryan Tannehill. They call roughing the passer, and it wasn't roughing the passer. Everybody agrees it was egregious. Then on third down, they stop them, and it would have been a field goal, and they throw another flag and hand them 7 points. And the Saints drove down the thing and ran out of time. So they might have got screwed out of a field goal or possibly more as well, because obviously the 3 plays took more time off.
Right.
And Sean Payton was irate afterwards. And, look, what bothers me, Coach, is these guys put so much time and so much heart, including the fan base, everything, into these seasons. And you got referees inputting themselves in the games, and I can't stand it. And if you look at the AFC picture, the Titans should be 7-3. And then the Steelers last week, my God, that was just a disgrace. The Bears should have won that game, and they played well, and it got stolen yet from them. And then yesterday with their tie, they just got lucky. We called outright, Coach. Didn't get the outright, but we both got the cover. We both said Lions were going to play well, and they did. Steelers are in trouble, but still, now they're 5-3-1 instead of 4-4-1 because of the refs. And, you give another team possibly an opportunity to hop up and what I would think is a better team. But on to the Titans, number 1 seed, I don't think they got a shot at making the Super Bowl. One, obviously with Derrick Henry gone now, but I don't want to say they're fugazi. Their defense is playing much better. But you saw it with the Saints. Now, let's be honest here. That's a Saints team with Trevor Siemian and no Kamara, and they struggled with them. And the reason is the Titans had success, and it was against good teams. Well, Coach, tell me the common denominator here. They beat the Chiefs. Obviously, we know the Colts, too, which the Colts should have run the ball more. But they beat the Chiefs, they beat the Rams, and they beat the Bills. What do all 3 of those teams lack to do? Run the football.
Right.
And that's what you need to do against the Titans. You need to establish the run and then get the pass going to beat the Titans. And obviously now you can see they can't run the ball as well, and that's going to hurt Tannehill, and you're going to see this offense struggle much like it struggled against that good Saints defense. So, I don't think they'll end up being the number 1 seed, but I also don't think they have a chance of going to the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship. I see them going out early in the playoffs. I mean, they're 8-2. They're probably going to make the playoffs now just because they're, and you got a lot of teams jumbled in the middle there in both conferences. I mean, 4 and 5 right now gets you in the playoffs in the NFC because you got those top-heavy teams in the top 5 spots.
Right. I agree. And the other game was, who would have thought the Redskins? Or I'm sorry, the Washington football team.
Yeah. Well, and Coach, with Brady, I mean, and they're coming off a bye too. Look, the Bucks were 7-5, Coach, last year, and then turned it on. So can they still do that? Yes. I think they miss Antonio Brown and Rob Gronkowski. I really do. Those are, Brady loves them. Plus, Coach, you put 2 guys like that in. First of all, Gronkowski's huge in the red zone. And then you put Brown in, Coach, you coached. That helps Godwin and Evans. Right. Or obviously it helps them all. It just, those are 2 huge misses. And then defense, they just got to get healthy and get more consistent. I do think we spoke about they have gotten a little bit older on that defensive line with Sue and JPP, not getting as much pressure on the quarterback. We'll see. I mean, I'm like I've always said, Coach, and I know you're the same way. I'm not in the doubting Tom Brady business. I'm not.
Right. And here's what bothers me about that, though. I just throwing this out there is because their next game is next Monday night against the Giants.
Giants, right? And
I feel like, now Brady's going to have to come out with a vengeance because it is the Giants, and they can't lose 2 in a row, and it's a bad spot for your Giants. It's a bad spot for the Giants.
But let's not forget, they played last year, and everybody thought the Giants would get smoked, and it was a tight game. It was a tight game.
Right, but you know what? Everybody said that last year about the Rams, and look what the Rams did.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. And Daniel Jones is 0 for on primetime games, Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night games. Right. He is an offer. He can't win in those quote-unquote big games, and he's over. And that's the reason why I can't back the dude. I think we need a new quarterback in New York, but
yeah,
no,
I agree. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like I said, I think the Bucs is more of a wait and see. Like I said, you got to get those. It's health with them. Is Gronk going to be healthy? Is AB going to be healthy? Can they get that defense healthy? They're missing a lot of secondary players. Sherman was supposed to come back and play yesterday. Had hamstring trouble in the pregame warmups, so they got to get healthy. If they don't, it might not be the year for the Bucs. And you see that a lot after you win a Super Bowl. First of all, you lose that killer instinct, the eye of the tiger, as Apollo Creed likes to say a little bit. I saw it when the Eagles won. We'll see. But like I said, with Brady there, you always got a shot. You really do. Now, Coach, I didn't get to weigh in on the OBJ trade. So I'd like to weigh in on that a little bit. First when I heard the trade, Coach.
It's not a trade. He's a free agent. He signed as a free agent.
It wasn't a trade. You're right. I apologize. I thought, look, I mean, if it doesn't work out, you can just get rid of him. But I was worried before Robert Woods tears his ACL that, man, Robert Woods was already complaining about his targets. Now enter OBJ, okay?
Right.
Chemistry-wise, I was worried about it. But then when you lose Robert Woods, obviously, it makes a ton of sense. We'll see. Only thing I worry about is kind of like Baker. You don't want Darnold trying to, if OBJ is getting like a diva and getting in his ear and saying, get me the ball, and he start forcing the ball to him. So that's what would worry me about the Rams. But, I mean, when you lose Robert Woods now, it makes sense. You got to do the deal. Rams are going for it. I think OBJ went to L.A. because obviously he believes probably best chance to win the Super Bowl and he lives in L.A., all the glitz and glamour of L.A. But I think if you talk about the best spot for OBJ, I'd have went to Green Bay, played alongside Devontae Adams and with Aaron Rodgers on a one-year deal, because I think the best for him stats-wise, everything where I think you're going to show his talents, I think it would have been Green Bay.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. I agree 100%. Green Bay would have been the smart play. I think he just wanted to be in L.A. and go with that because, honestly, I think they've, kind of like the Yankees. They keep getting all these spare parts to try to win a championship, and it just doesn't – it's not going to work.
Right. Well, Stafford's a good quarterback. Rodgers is a great quarterback. And I know you got Cooper Kupp with the Rams, but you got Devontae Adams on the other side. And that's the one thing the Packers have really lacked, Coach, is that second receiver that Rodgers could go to.
Even a tight end. Even a tight end. Something
Tanyan kind of did it last year, but obviously he gets hurt this year.
Right.
I really think he would have saw a lot of targets with the Packers. And with all those pieces, I mean, you got Aaron Jones, who I know may miss a week or two, but you got A.J. Dillon as well in the backfield. You got a good offensive line. Rams' offensive line has some question marks. You saw that in the Titans game. So, I think it might have been a mistake. I think for him, and I get it. Wisconsin's not the most exciting place in the place. But if you were to talk about where it was best for OBJ, I would have gone to Green Bay.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. I think that should have been his spot, but we'll see tonight. Because he'll suit up tonight and we'll see how many targets he gets tonight.
Yeah. And, basically it would kind of give me wait and see. But then when Woods went down, they know, they need him probably because look, with all this, I mean, they're fighting for a division, first of all, with the Cardinals, who lose yesterday. So now you're tied with them. You get another game against them that if you can beat them, you jump them for the NFC West. So it's huge. I mean, it too. That number one seed is so big now when you get, because there's only one team that gets the bye, obviously. Now the Cardinals had the tiebreaker, but the Rams, I think, still get to play the Packers as well too. So, they kind of control their own destiny. And it's a big game for them tonight, and on the road, still a division matchup. We'll see how they look.
Absolutely. I agree with that. But now let's talk about that Cardinals game since you brought up the Cardinals. And how about the Panthers?
Yeah.
I mean, that offense kind of flipped the switch with Cam back in the saddle. I mean, wow.
Yeah. And Cam got a penalty too after his first touchdown. And, he told Matt Rule it won't happen again. And they questioned him about that. And he said, look, I got a little emotional. He goes, look, last week I was eating a bowl of cereal at this time. So he's back on the field. Look, I think Cam's going to help.
Absolutely.
Coach, that's going to be a tough rushing attack to stop with Cam and obviously CMC, Christian McCaffrey.
Right.
And you already know they can play defense. So now I think you're going to see a concerted effort to run the ball, let Cam, do some RPOs, and then obviously they will throw too. But I think they're going to lean on that run game and that defense and try to eke out some wins. And I think it's very possible. I think they're a threat to make the playoffs and be one of those, the 6 or a 7 seed, obviously. But, I think it's going to help them because it makes more sense with Darnold out for the rest of the year, and with PJ Walker, he just doesn't look ready. I like the Cam signing.
I agree 100%. I mean, Cam looked phenomenal. I just think that it was a smart move with that. Yeah. And how about that? Because the Panthers play Washington next week or this week coming up.
Wow.
And here we go. Cam against his old coach.
The coach who released him.
Right.
And he's going to start this week too. So he'll be getting all the snaps.
Yeah.
Going to be interesting, Coach. I mean, look, that second touchdown he had, there's not another quarterback in the league that scores that. Not Jalen Hurts, not Taysom Hill, who I know is a run. I mean, there's just not many people that are like you saw the Patriots. They had some success to start off with him, right. And then they just couldn't throw the ball, and it kind of went away. They looked good early on, but yeah, I'm real curious to see how they look and see if he can get a little bit of that because I think he's got better weapons there too with Robbie Anderson and obviously even better DJ Moore on the outside.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. 100%. 100%. That was another shocker. I didn't think it was going to be such a big blowout as it was, with that.
And then, Coach, we talked about the AFC. NFC, when you talk about the best team, once again, the Cardinals, I don't love the coach, and I don't like Kyler Murray with the injury. And you wonder how that's going to work out. I don't know if he's going to play this week. But, Coach, if you got – they're not really saying – I don't know if it's a high ankle sprain. But, if you got that ankle sprain, Coach, that could linger all year. And a guy like Kyler, that's a huge part of his game.
Yep.
Moving in the pocket and moving around.
He's got to because he's so short. He can't see.
Right. And we saw last year, Stiz talked about it a lot, after he hurt his shoulder, how much it affected him down the stretch. And I just think it's a year early for the Cardinals. I like the team, but I think it's a year early. In the NFC, I really like. I don't doubt the Cowboys, but I really like the Packers and the Rams. I really do.
I agree.
Packers defense looks really good. I think Rodgers. Look, they don't have. The Packers are playing without 3 All-Pro players too. They're going to get back David Bakhtiari at left tackle. They're going to get back All-Pro corner Jair Alexander, maybe the best corner in football, and they still got Zadarius Smith to come in and play and pass the rusher. And their defense has played much better this year, so I really like how the Packers look. And if you look at it, no doubt, Rodgers' plays last week, they beat the Chiefs, no doubt about it. They only lost by 3 points.
Absolutely.
So you're talking about a team that probably would be 9-1 if Rodgers plays last week.
Absolutely, I agree, 100%, man, 100% with that.
So now in the AFC, obviously last night, man, looked like the return of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and what did we say? I mean, we talked about this as it having to be a must win. If they lost to the Giants, this game was a must win for them. Mm-hmm. And what a way, because now that game was for first place because Denver loses. to Philadelphia. And then Minnesota snips the Chargers.
Yeah.
So that game became for first place, and now here we are. Just a couple weeks ago, couldn't believe Kansas City's in last place. Oh my goodness, the world's coming to an end,
right,
man. And now all of a sudden, everything's right with the world. Kansas City's back on top.
Well, the defense is improving, but even what was different. Obviously, Mahomes looked really good. I think he realized. I mean, they simplified it a little bit. A lot of throws to the running back dumping off. Mahomes took what the defense gave him. Instead of going for the big play and trying to do too much, he took what the defense gave him. They got another big thing too. Kelsey hadn't been involved in much. They got Kelsey going last night. It was an impressive victory. The defense, we always said it too, Coach. Me and Spags has got that defense playing better. We know, we'll talk about Spags in November and December.
Right.
He always gets his defenses playing well. Third season in Kansas City, already been to 2 Super Bowls, winning one. The guy won 2 Super Bowls with the Giants. I mean, just an impeccable resume. I don't doubt Spags. And it's not a ton of talent on the Chiefs. You have some playmakers with Matt Bell, Jones, and Clark, but it's not like they have all these players on the Chiefs. It's just Spags is a really good coordinator. I mean, let's be honest. But the one thing I want to talk about, Coach, is, look, I know people say, oh, well, why is it a must-win game? The Raiders are 5-4. They're still right there. And it's true. The Raiders are far from out of it. They're not. They're right there. I mean, there's a lot of season left to play. But, Coach, the issue is, we talked about the 2 games. If you don't lose to either the Bears or the Giants, now you're 6-3 and still in first place. So last night you lose, but at least you can go in that locker room and say, all right, guys, we just lost to the Chiefs. We're still 6-3. We're still in first place. But now instead you're saying, look, we started 5-2 again, and we're 5-4. And Coach, let me just real quick, and then we'll get into whatever Billy said. The Raiders' schedule down the stretch here. They're at home against the Bengals, tough one. At the Cowboys, at home with the Washington football team, at the Chiefs, at the Browns, Broncos at home, at the Colts, Chargers at home. Tough schedule, Coach.
That is a very tough schedule.
They're going to be an underdog in 4 of their next 5 games. I mean, so that was why I thought it was more of a must-win, because they got a tough schedule. I mean, at the Chiefs is going to be tough. At the Cowboys is going to be tough. They're a dog against the Bengals this weekend, and Joe Burrow. It's, and with all the distractions going on, it's going to be a lot. I mean, the Raiders are far from done, but they're going to have to beat some good teams to
right, because then you got the Bengals, and then you got that short turnaround week, because isn't the Cowboys on Thanksgiving?
Right. Yeah. So you
got a quick turnaround.
And great point. You got a short week in an early Thursday game too.
Right.
So you're playing at 4:25, which it's different, Coach. It's so you figure essentially for them, that's like 2 in the afternoon on Thursday.
Right.
Only 4 days after you just played a Sunday game. So it's gonna be tough, and it's gonna be tough to go into Dallas on Thanksgiving and win that game. So they got an uphill battle for themselves. That's why, like I said, if you lose one of them, I understand. You saw the Bills lose to the Jags.
Right.
We saw Tampa Bay lose to Washington. But losing to the Bears and the Giants, especially when they lost to the Bears were playing terrible football. They shouldn't have won that game. And now it sticks out because you would be 6-3 and in first place. But now you're 5-4, and you're in. I guess they're in third because the Chargers beat them head to head.
Right.
And that's why the Chargers beat the Chiefs and the Raiders, because they don't have run games. And if you look at the Chargers, I knew it with the Vikings. I liked the Vikings yesterday because the Chargers just can't stop the run game. They really can't. It's a struggle for them. And once again, that defense is kind of letting them down, which surprised me because I like Staley, but they look so good. But the Chargers are now kind of headed the other way.
Yeah. Some of the gas is left the tank.
Yeah, the Chargers, Coach, it used to be bad starts. Now it looks like it might be a bad finish.
Yeah. So Billy, D-Jack, he looks like Jack Wagon.
Yeah.
And Cam Newton.
He
Yeah.
got a Superman cape back. Look,
Yeah.
he had 2 touchdowns on his first 2 plays. I want to see how he can throw the ball, but there's no doubt it's an upgraded quarterback, and I think the Panthers are going to be tough with him and McCaffrey, being able to run the ball.
And by the way, let me give a shout out Del State. Big come from behind win on Saturday against Norfolk State. That was a big win. Kind of evened out the season for them. So I want to give a shout out to those guys. Go Hornets.
Yeah,
my alma mater. I thanks for blowing it off. I appreciate it.
Well, no, I mean,
yeah.
I'm a PA guy. You know what I mean? I'm not a Delaware guy.
Yeah.
No, good for Del State. You know what I mean? That's a good thing. Don't go on a comeback slick. One thing I wanted to talk about too was the Ravens on Thursday night losing to the Dolphins, and I think you might see what Flores did used as a playbook against the Ravens. He brought a ton of cornerback blitzes to go at Lamar, so some of that speed could go at him, and he can't get away, obviously, and it was really successful. And that's why I say with the AFC, they're the 2 teams that are on top, and I don't see either of them being able to win this, get to the Super Bowl. So it's really wide open to me. I mean, obviously you have the Bills too, but it's really going to be interesting what happens in the AFC. And, Coach, like we keep saying, I know that the Ravens can run the ball and they play defense, but I still don't believe until Lamar Jackson becomes a legitimate pocket passer, I just don't think I think there always is going to be a ceiling on him, and it's going to be he can only go so far until he can become a pocket passer. There's nothing wrong with using his legs, but he's got to learn to become a pocket passer, or else I just don't see the Ravens ever getting so far. I don't see them getting past an AFC championship game at best.
Right. Well, I just think it was – Lamar's from there. Too many people from Florida, Hollywood. Those guys, I think they spent too much time on South Beach with family and friends and just overlooked the Dolphins.
All right, Joe. We know the Cowboys are back. They beat the Falcons about as good as the Eagles beat the Falcons. But I think, Joe, we're gonna get a good look at them this weekend with the Chiefs with the Cowboys. Now the Cowboys are legit. What the Cowboys need to do is not abandon that run game, because you saw them with the Broncos. It happens with them. They get down and they abandon the run game. Look what the Eagles just did to the Broncos: 50 rushes, 204 yards. Cowboys just got to stick with the run game and play off it with the pass, and they're going to be fine. I don't know. They're dangerous, but I don't know if they're going to be able to beat the Packers or the Rams. But the Cowboys look good.
Couldn't beat a Van Miller.
Yeah, but that was their game you throw away, Coach. Everybody has them each year.
Right.
The Bucs this week. That wasn't the Cowboys that game. They looked terrible. I think Dak was a little rusty. He didn't look great that game. Bad. It was just one of those games where it too, Coach. The bounces weren't going your way. They had that block punt. Right. The guy recovered and ended up getting whatever happened. Right. There's just so many weird things. The coaching was bad. They got out-coached, outplayed, out everything. You know what I mean? It just happens. There's usually that game a year it happens. That was the Cowboys game. I mean, like I said, we'll get a good bearing of where they are at Kansas City on Sunday.
Right.
And look, Joe isn't not a Darnold guy. He's not a Stafford guy, and he said it last week that he was going to – and that's what I really worry about Stafford. I think they're going to be able to beat these teams they can beat, but when they play the upper echelons of teams, I really want to see how Stafford does against them. I'm going to wait and see on Stafford, too. He's right about that. That's why I like the Packers. That Rams defense is legit, but look how good they played against the Titans. Basically, it was Stafford turning the ball over twice that cost them against the Titans.
Right. Oh, Billy. I mean, Nevada Nick, he's telling you.
Who's blow who out?
The Rams about to blow you all out.
The Rams got a shot. I don't know. I don't think the Rams play the Cowboys, but No, look, who would I take, Rams or Cowboys? They're close. What I do like more, you know me, Coach, I'm an offensive line guy. If it was at a neutral site,
right?
I don't know. I might go Cowboys because they can run the ball. Rams can't run the ball. I don't love the Rams' offensive line. I don't know. I think I might go Cowboys. The one thing I do like, I'll take McVay over McCarthy.
Oh, yeah.
McVay over McCarthy.
Yeah.
But, man, yeah, I mean, the Rams, I like the defense, but Stafford does concern me. And look, if it's Rams at home, that's why it's important for the Rams to win tonight and get that home field advantage if they can.
Yeah, we'll see. This is a big game for them. They got to win. They got to win these games to keep pace, basically.
Joe, I don't think McVay's overrated. I mean, this is a guy. Don't forget that team stunk with Jeff Fisher, and he went in and turned them around. And you see what Jared Goff is in the Lions. I mean, he has turned that Rams team around. I wouldn't call him overrated. Now, he did get outcoached in the Super Bowl against Belichick, no doubt about it, but I wouldn't call McVay overrated. I think look, Stafford's obviously better. They're 8-2. I wouldn't call McVay overrated.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, well, tonight, I can tell you, I wouldn't lay 3.5. Look, the 49ers are desperate for a win. I hate Jimmy G. You know that, Coach. I like the Rams to win the game. I bet the Rams money line, personally. I wouldn't lay 3.5, though. I just got a weird feeling because everybody thinks, we got OBJ now. And, look, he's only going to play 15, 20 plays possibly tonight. So you're going to see the Rams without Robert Woods. You're going to probably see San Francisco, who does struggle in pass defense, but you're going to see San Francisco probably double Cooper Kupp. And like I said, the Rams' offensive line struggles. So if the 49ers can get pressure on the Rams, you could see them struggle.
Oh, Joe is saying 27-20, San Fran.
Okay, well, we'll see. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Monday night on the road, I think the Rams are going to find a way to win. The Niners did just lose McGlinchey, the tackle. And like I said, what I'm looking at too is it's Jimmy G versus that Rams defense. So, and I think Von Miller is going to play tonight, right, Coach?
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
So you got Von Miller and Aaron Donald coming at you.
And Floyd, isn't Floyd? Is he playing too?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's pretty scary. Coming at you.
Yeah, it is. And one thing I want to say too, I'm not. You're doing your thing Thursday, and people may think I'm nuts, but everybody's going crazy about the Patriots. I'm telling you now, the Falcons are up to 7.5 on Thursday. Take it. You're getting the Falcons at home on Thursday night. And I think Joe's going to agree with me because, Joe, it goes along with that trend you told me, which was 4-2 yesterday, 7-0 last week. It's so I think the Falcons, I obviously like the Patriots to win the game, but on Thursday night, I really think the Falcons at home coming off that blowout against the Cowboys, against the Patriots. Everybody thinks the Patriots are going to probably kill them. I think the Falcons and Patriots win, Falcons cover. Because let's not forget, the Patriots offense still does struggle. I could see a close game in there.
Okay. I think so, too. I think it's Thursday night. I don't see it being a blowout just because it's a shortened week for both teams. And, of course, the road team.
Well, and too, Coach, let's not forget 28-3, Super Bowl. You do have that back in Atlanta. So, I'm sure Matty Ice remembers that. I think they're going to be jacked up. I think this is the first time they've played since that. I think. I could be wrong. You might be
right. You might be right.
It's definitely the first time they're playing that in Atlanta since then. So, I'm sure, we'll see what happens. But I really do. I already bet it. In fact, what I like, take it and try to middle it, because I did Falcons plus 7.5, and the line's really, I think, 6.5. I did Patriots tease, so you can get Patriots minus 0.5, Falcons plus 7.5. I really think you can middle the game in a sense, because I think it's going to fall right in between that.
Okay.
I know that's all gambling lingo. You're probably like, I have no clue what you just said.
I have no idea what you said.
So, Coach, I'll explain it to you. So the line's 6.5. I bought it. I bought the line to 7.5, Coach. So you buy points. I bought it to 7.5, and then a teaser, you get 6 points. So I'll bet the Patriots minus 0.5 in a teaser with another team. So if the Falcons lose by a touchdown, I win the Falcons game and I win the Patriots teaser. Now, I still have another part of that teaser that needs to win, but I can kind of what's called mid the game.
Okay.
Right. Still don't
very good. Very good. I still don't get it, but that's fine. Yeah. So you want to go ahead and give your pick tonight?
Yeah. I think the Rams win
about Thursday night.
Yeah, I would. Like I said, I'm not laying the 3.5. If I can't say bet the 49ers plus 3.5. If I would give anything, I would say bet the Rams money line. Like I said, Joe likes the 49ers. I could see it, but I feel most comfortable with Rams at money line because, I'm not going to lay 3.5. I really got a feeling that field goal might beat you tonight. Look what happened in that Titans game. You're up 11. They kick a field goal to get it to 8. Then they go down. They missed a 2. You were laying 3. You get beat by the point. There's so many ways to get beaten. You're feeling pretty good if you're a Titan. If you bet the Titans yesterday, obviously I had the Saints, but you're up 11 in the fourth quarter. Bing, bang, boom. Real quick, you lost.
Right.
That's gambling. Sitting high once at one point, you think everything's great. Yeah, that's Billy. Joe's my boy. He's nuts. He is nuts, but he knows his football, man. He really knows his football. And he knows his gambling. Yeah.
So listen, I just want to make a programming note for Thursday. That show is going to be taped. It's not going to be live because Thursday is my travel day. Got to go down south. So that'll be my travel day. By Thursday, I think I've been invited to Tom and Jerry's.
You're going to Hedonism, aren't you?
I'm going to Hedonism, yeah. Tom and Jerry's up there in your way to see my buddy Stiz and his cornhole tour de grace, whatever you want to call it, So on Thursday,
you throw cornhole, Coach?
Yeah, I'll give it a whirl.
Have you played cornhole before?
I've played before, yes.
Are you good or no?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, Coach, and I'm actually an accurate guy usually. Like you give me a football, I can be accurate. It's tough, man.
Why do all big guys think they're very accurate with a football? Billy thinks he's accurate with a football. Coach, you think you're accurate with a football.
Coach, if I wasn't fucking big, I could have been a quarterback. No, I'm not kidding. I can throw the ball. All right, bring.
Yeah, and if my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle. I mean, come on, you know.
Well, Uncle Jane. Now, Joe, the only thing with that, Stafford was 8-15 in primetime games. Most of them are with the shitty Lions, so that's kind of hard to judge. The Lions suck. But yeah, Coach and Aunt Jane or Uncle Jane, whatever you want to. Bring a football, Coach. While they're all playing cornhole, I'll fucking pellet you with some fucking tosses from Nevada Nick.
Yeah, my fat ass ain't running around the parking lot chasing your ball all over the place.
Coach, I'm like fucking Joe Montana with a slow metabolism. Trust me.
Oh my God! Hey, reach down. You see that wet spot? You're not dreaming.
Yeah. Now I can sling the rock, man. Like, remember them quarterback challenges they used to have back in the day?
Yeah.
And they'd have the moving targets, and then they had the paint on the ball. Yeah. Oh, I could do that, and I would be like a hunter. I'd be out there hitting the middle of the thing. I'm serious. I'm that accurate. I really am. I got a gun on me.
Listen, everyone. and not this week because too much going on. I'll get a camera. We'll get something set up on the field, and we'll put this out there for everyone to see how accurate Nevada Nick is.
I'll do it, dude.
Okay?
I'll do it. Don't doubt me. I'll do it. And Joe, the one thing I question more is Stafford versus good teams. So that's where, to be honest, Joe, Dak has struggled against good teams too.
Right.
So it kind of goes both ways. But, I think the Cowboys are a little bit different this year, and the defense is there too.
Yeah, much better. Good stuff.
Get out of here, Joe. He's full of shit. He's full of shit. I didn't break no windows.
2 broken windows, I remember.
He's full of shit.
Hey, let's put that up for everyone.
You know what? It was broken windows. I threw them so hard by them, they went, man. And they didn't even go near the one. Just went past them. Break any fucking windows.
Oh, all right. Good stuff, everyone. Thank you for checking us out. We appreciate it. Please share it with your friends. Tell your friends. Go over to YouTube. Ring the bell. Subscribe. Like our page. We appreciate all the love you give us. And, we'll be back. Again, I'll do a thing on Thursday.
Joe,
you already said the
Rams
pick.
Money line. Rams money line, Joe.
Pay attention, Joe.
I agree with you, though, Joe. I wouldn't lay 3.5 with the Rams. I would lean probably towards the Niners with the 3.5.
So, and there you go. So we appreciate everyone. Enjoy the game tonight. Be safe, and we'll see you guys on Thursday. Thanks.